Really?
So buyers don't even have to have money in the bank.
Woo.
Just call me if all the things on your credit are good and you have at least a 640 score. You could literally buy a home with zero money down except for the cost of your home inspection and earnest money.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is awesome. A lot of people are scared.
That's it.
They don't know who to get in contact with. They don't know what to do because they always say, I don't think I can get a home.
That's
and you're
it.
right. Everybody.
And so what they're doing is
Yes,
they'll rent
yes,
and they'll
yes.
pay somebody else's mortgage.
That's right.
And I tell renters all the time, I'm like, why are you doing that?
Ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls around the world, welcome to another exciting episode of Coastal Spotlight. And the spotlight is shining bright tonight on real estate. Yes, indeed. You have any questions about real estate? We have a gentleman here that's going to answer your questions in the way we do it. So right now, since I introduced myself, I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, it's awesome to be with you. And I did some research on the podcast and watched a couple. This what you got going is real nice. So
I appreciate it.
I'm glad to be a part of it. So I'm Jonathon Griffin. I am a realtor here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, and I do cover Harrison, Hancock, Jackson, Stone, and George counties. So all the
awesome.
lower 5 counties, and it's residential and commercial real estate.
That is great. That is awesome. This is not going to even feel like an interview. We just two guys talking, okay?
That's it. There you go.
In real estate, I mingled in real estate when I was in Georgia.
Okay.
Never knew anything about real estate. I moved up there. I had a best friend. I call him my brother from another mother.
Yeah.
He was in real estate, and he always told me he had to be very careful about how he spent his money, because he can get a check 1 month and then he won't get another one till 4 months down the line.
Dude.
So he learned how to manage
Budget.
money, man. I was like, really? He said, yeah. He says, no problem. I got it all worked out. I'm in it to win it. So let's jump back to you.
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been in real estate?
I've been in real estate since 2014. I became licensed really pretty quickly. Just because my other career had ended and it was time to do something else. And so I got licensed, took the course in October, did a crash course. It was a 9-day course, took the test, and became licensed in September of 2014 and have been doing it strong.
Oh, that is awesome. Come closer a little bit to the mic. Say that part again, because a lot of people out there want to know, hey, what I got to do to get in real estate? Tell them your journey.
Yeah, so what I did is I actually did a crash course. So it's a 9-day crash course in Biloxi. It's I want to say it's the Biloxi Real Estate Training Institute. It might just be the Real Estate Training Institute, but it's Leslie and Jim Clausen. If you haven't met this couple, they're awesome people. You got to know them. Like, just knowing you would love to know these people. They're from California originally. They came here after Katrina and opened up a real estate school. It used to be off of Pops Ferry Road at the Innovation Center, and they just keep growing. They probably have 20. They have a class every month, and it's a day class and an evening class. Your day class is from 8:30 to 4:30 for 9 days. So Monday through Friday the first week, Monday through Thursday the second week.
That's awesome.
And then their night class is a 3-week class because it starts at 5 and it ends at 8:30. So because it's a shorter time frame, you add an extra week. But that's where I went, and you learn the test. That's the most important part.
Right.
Because, just like practicing law, becoming a doctor, you can go to school and you can get all the skills, and you have labs and you have all that stuff, but really you learn to become the best when you're actually in the field. So I wasn't worried about any of that. I just knew I needed to join a brokerage where I can get the education afterwards. All I wanted to do was pass the test, and so that's what I did. I did the crash course.
Wow. So ladies and gentlemen that's listening and viewing, that was his journey.
Yeah.
Y'all can rewind this as many times as needed, so you can get that information what he just shared with you. And we thank you here at Coastal Spotlight for sharing that, because a lot of people do ask us when we're gonna have the kind of shows like real estate and business and banking and all of that. So we doing it tonight, y'all. Getting it tonight from a great gentleman and he's going to give you a lot of knowledge on real estate. Okay.
Yeah, and and on cost, the course, you think, oh gosh, I've got to go to this real estate course and I've got to pay all this money and it's going to be thousands of dollars. Man, it's only $595 for the course. So
that's not bad.
Think about what business can you start for $595.
That's not bad at all.
So it's $595, and then once you pass, to take the test, it's $110. And then you have, of course, to become an active realtor to be involved with the MLS, where you can actually look for property for your buyers. You got to be part of the MLS and the local Gulf Coast Association of Realtors, and that total I think is like $435. It's a total of about $1,300 total that you'll need to launch a real estate business.
That is not bad at all. Just thinking about the income that you can generate being in the real estate game. So investing in your career, a new career that's in real estate, because one thing we do know, you're not going to run out of people that need somewhere to stay.
That's right.
That's a great investment.
That's it.
I might just leave here tonight.
You want to join my team?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I want to join the team. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So when after you accomplish those goals,
yeah,
that's the beginning. You're setting your foundation.
Right.
Is the school you went to, is the agency you work for now, or you work with a different agency?
They're separate. In the state of Mississippi, you can't own a school and also be a brokerage.
Absolutely.
Because then, of course, you would just be recruiting your own students to become agents. So they can't do that. Now, they do have their own real estate firm, the Clausen Institute. It's called Clausen Realty, and they do have that. But I decided not to join it. The most important thing to me becoming a new agent is I had learned the test at the Real Estate Training Institute, but I hadn't learned real estate. So what I did, and anybody could do this that watches the show, is they could Google top training real estate brokerages. Awesome. And I'm just going to tell you, the number one that kept coming up was Keller Williams. Right. So I'd read about it and I'd watch videos, and I was like, okay. And I did a little bit of praying, and that's why I felt that's where I led, and their belief system. I really like their belief system, so that's why I went to Keller Williams, and it was amazing training. They have a 12 course that they do that's part of your brokerage fee, and it's how to ignite your business, and that's what the course is called, Ignite Your Business. So
I can tell you one thing. I can ride around town all over the coast. I be seeing these Keller Williams signs everywhere.
We are the fastest growing on the Gulf Coast right now.
That is awesome.
When I started, I think we had 114 agents. We've got 140 something now. So, yeah, we're growing.
Yes. Y'all almost like the Morris Barter Real Estate. He got agents everywhere, and y'all do too, huh?
Hey, you know what? We actually are the largest per agent count internationally. It's 198,000 agents.
What?
And that's internationally, not just nationally.
Right.
I think it's like 92,000 in the U.S., but a total of 198,000.
So Keller Williams is touching land all over this great world.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yep. Bleeding red. That's what we like to say.
Bleeding red?
Our colors are red, and red, black, and gray.
Right.
So we say we're bleeding red.
Bleeding red. Yes, indeed. Y'all are definitely bleeding red. That is awesome. That is great news.
Yeah.
Now, when you went and met your first client, let's get into that.
Okay. That was easy.
It was easy? You sound very confident of being easy. Were you hyped up? Were you nervous? What was it?
No. Okay, so just like if you're going to become an insurance agent, if you're going to become an attorney, if you're going to become a real estate agent, the biggest thing that you've got to do, or a mortgage originator, if you decide, hey, I want to get into mortgages, the first thing that they tell you is that you don't go work for a real estate firm and they give you leads. That's not how it is. There's the days of sitting in an office and people walk in and say, hey, I'd like to sell my house, or hey, I needed to speak to an agent to buy a home. Those are gone. We really, to be honest with you, real estate brokerages don't need offices.
Right.
The reason being is where do most buyers start? 99.9% of buyers, they start online. Right. So, or based off of referral. So say if
Absolutely.
you bought a home and you were pleased with your experience, or you had a great relationship with somebody that you knew that was really honest, you're going to refer somebody that that mentions to you that they're going to buy a home. You're going to say, oh, I know this guy, and you're going to refer. And hopefully from now on, it'll be Jonathan Griffin. But
Yeah. Let's put it in the air.
That's right.
That's right.
But so what I did is I went through my immediate sphere. Prior to real estate, I had 17 years of retail experience. So I don't know. Are you familiar with Buckle, the clothing store?
Absolutely.
So that's what moved me here from Missouri. In 2000, I moved here to Biloxi to open up the Buckle at Edgewater Mall. And so just being in that store, and if you know, the way of our customer service was very intensive there. We believed in good customer service.
Yeah.
And I always hired good-looking people and
Right.
outgoing people and a
Right.
fun atmosphere. So I built a relationship with a lot of people over those 16 years at the Buckle here. And
I can imagine.
I went through my phone and just started calling people. Hey, I'm no longer at Buckle. Announced it on Facebook. I'm no longer at Buckle. I'm now selling real estate. And to be honest with you, the business started flying in.
Whoa.
I immediately got busy. So my first transaction was a really great friend of mine who shopped at Buckle. She was also a local business owner, and it was a $492,000 brand new build. And I got to sell her home in Ocean Springs, which was a $329,000.
Yeah,
deal.
you jumped in for real. The water was
that was literally
warm for
in,
you.
In the first week, I had that listing and was writing a contract on a new build.
Really?
In the first week of being licensed, and then it was probably in that first 30 days I listed 4 homes rather quickly.
Well, that is great. Listing. Yeah. Let's get into listing.
Yeah.
You in the world of social media, so listing comes easy now.
That's it.
And you absolutely right. It's useless to have a building as a broker because of the internet, because of social media, because of word of mouth. You definitely need to be in the field. You definitely need to be outgoing. Because you can rub a lot of elbows in grocery stores and, just passing with different people here and there. And you never know. You can be riding, somebody call you, hey, I told them you was in real estate. They want to meet you. Can you meet? So you might have to meet a client at a coffee shop or wherever the case may be. Yeah. So being in the field, I can understand your philosophy on that.
Yeah.
That is definitely great information. So your first 2 clients was a walk in the park.
That's it.
Now the ones you didn't know.
Now, let's go back to your question about was I nervous?
Nervous, yeah. Absolutely.
I was nervous because I had never written a contract before.
Right.
And so in real estate school, they're going to scare you about the legalities of real estate. And there is a lot of legal things that you got to keep in mind. You got to get the legal description correct. You got to make sure the right deed is being transferred. So I was nervous about that, but it was overshadowed by the excitement of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I've already got some deals going on. Because they say in this business, and this is true, it's feast or famine.
Right.
They say only 10% of real estate agents who start each year going into the next year will still be selling real estate because they think, hey, I'm going to go dress cute. I'm going to get these fat checks, buy Louis Vuitton purses, and do all this fine traveling right away. It's not that way. There is some grind and some hustle that you got to do on the back end to make sure that you have those checks every month.
Absolutely. I definitely went through that, observing my friend in Georgia.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, you have to be very careful.
That's right.
If that's your full-time job or full-time hustle or what they call it now.
That's it.
Definitely got to manage your money. So, litigations of real estate, I like that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because when you do get into it, say you have a strip, let's go into commercial, a strip mall.
Okay.
Strip mall that's been abandoned for like 10 years. And you met a guy that's looking for a strip mall, right?
Yeah.
So what's the first step to do when for yourself, like it's like 3 empty strip malls around town? How do you what's the first step on that?
First step is really figure out what their needs are for. In commercial zoning, whatever business you're going to have, there's going to be different zonings for commercial. So everything isn't enveloped under commercial. So you're going to have limited business. You're going to have residential business. Some places are just zoned just for offices. So the first step with commercials, you got to figure out, okay, so what are your needs are for? Are you wanting to open a club in the strip mall? Are you going to want to open a grocery store? Or are you trying to open up offices? Because really you got to find out, is it zoned for what that person's going to do? Because say they're asking $1 million for the strip center, and this guy's got the cash money in pocket ready to go close, but he's going to go and he wants to open a neighborhood bar and grill. It's going to be a restaurant, but it's going to have a bar in it where it sells alcohol. Well, there may be ordinances or zoning in that specific area that won't allow a bar. It could be because there's a residential subdivision right behind the strip center.
Gotcha.
And so there's ordinances that wouldn't allow a bar to be that close to homes with kids.
Wow.
Okay? So you got to make sure what is their need for, and then call the listing agent to figure out how easy would it be to get a variance on the zoning. So say if we needed to change that type of zoning, the listing agent could probably know, yeah, it's possible. You could probably get a variance. A variance, by the way, is to get a change of zoning, and it's where you go before the zoning department and ask and apply to get it rezoned. The listing agent would most likely know if you'd be able to get an easy variance or not.
Wow, that is great information.
That's the first step, really.
Yes.
Because I mean, you could get yourself in some trouble. Say you wanted to buy this strip center, we wrote an offer, we got it accepted, we went under contract, we went to close. You just emptied out $1 million out of your account, then to find out you can't even use it for the purpose you wanted to use it.
Yeah, you gotta be.
You could sue me for that.
So you definitely got to dot your I's and cross your T's.
That's right. You got to know.
Got to know. So, okay, that's awesome because, I always wanted to know the ins and outs, of commercial real estate.
Yeah.
That is great information. Okay, let's say you want to put up a apartment complex.
Yeah.
But they don't have ground to break on. Are you licensed to go find empty land and all of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And here's the big thing: you can't really. This goes the same thing with the response to the question you had on commercial. Is apartment complexes can't be built anywhere. So you'll have areas that are zoned single-family residence where that's all it could be. It can be a home, so a single-family home. Then there's areas that are zoned multifamily. Well, then there's levels of multifamily zoning. So it could be, this particular parcel is zoned for multifamily, but it could only be duplexes or fourplexes, but not apartments. So you got to make sure that it's the right zoning for that. But there's actually quite a bit of property right now that were once prior single family that got wiped out by Katrina. And so to rehabilitate and to really encourage people, the zoning on that has been changed to multifamily. So there's actually some of that available right now.
Well, that's great to know. It's definitely some developers thinking about putting up some apartment complexes that definitely message us. And
I've got one listed right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it's actually a growing, if you go on Highway 57 and Highway 90, right there on the corner of Bienville Boulevard and Highway 57, it's 10-acre plot that's zoned for multifamily. It's ready to go, utilities there, and that would be a great area, because you're right there with the new contracts that they got at Chevron and Pascagoula. There's a lot of growth going up in that area, and apartments are going to be a need.
Yeah, absolutely. This is great information, definitely great information. In the Biloxi area, Biloxi is definitely casino influence.
Yeah.
A lot of people are coming into Biloxi to work at the casinos.
That's right. And then you got your snowbirds that are retired and accounts full of cash. They're coming here to gamble.
Yes.
And I have helped several snowbirds that are moving from Canada, Minnesota, Michigan.
Yeah.
Getting out of the cold, and they're coming down here because they've been coming down here for the last 10 years gambling.
Right.
They've now retired, and now they're moving here. I've had several just within this last year that have moved here.
That is great. That is great. Now I can tell my people that's up north. Come on down.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to get them in contact with this great guy right here.
Yeah.
So give our listeners and our audience some information on how to find you.
Okay.
How to get in contact with you.
Yeah. So you could call me. My cell phone number is 326-6680. You can call me or text me. My email is pretty easy. It's jgriffin.kellerwilliams@gmail. You could also find me at Facebook. Just type in Jonathan Griffin. You can add me as a friend if you want, or you can look at my business page. Jonathan Griffin, Realtor at Keller Williams is the name for that.
That is great. I tell you one thing, Mr. Williams. You have a lot of knowledge.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm stamping you tonight, recommending you tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely going to send people your way
Yeah.
from the business aspect and residential.
Yeah. Growth is crazy. I don't know if people realize how much growth is going on right here on the Gulf Coast. Look back because just preparing for a listing appointment today, I was like, I was just wondering how much it's grown in the last 3 years. We've seen a 10 to 15% growth just in transactions closed. So if you were to guess how many homes closed last year in all of 2019, how many homes do you think would have sold on the coast? Do you have any idea? Just guess.
About 2,500.
Almost 7,000 homes have
Wow.
closed. So I was like, man, I wonder what pace we're on for 2020. So I went and looked just in January, because we just ended January. So I went and pulled those numbers. We have closed 329 properties just for the month of January. Right now, there's 752 homes under contract. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So, I mean, that's going to be like 1,500 homes just within the first 33 days of the year. So if that tells you what 2020 is going to look like, now's the time to get into real estate and make some money.
Yeah.
Especially as many people as you know.
Especially many people I know. Yes, indeed. I need to hurry up and just rethink everything now. Like, look, it's going to be podcasting / real estate.
Yeah. And that has been a steady growth on the coast from 2015. Every year we've seen anywhere from a 10 to 12%. From 2018 to 2019 was a 16% increase.
That is awesome.
With the average price of home going up $20,000 per year. That's insane.
That's insane.
In 2015, the home that you would buy right now would have been $20,000 less. So, I mean, it's good things happening.
Good things are happening in a large number.
Yeah.
And when you have someone like yourself that know the numbers, it make it easy to shop real estate, to shop commercial real estate, or anything in that ballpark, because you know the numbers, you pull the numbers, you go research the numbers, you want to know what the growth is.
Yeah.
That's the one that's dedicated to their job,
That's
to their
it.
work. So when you do meet with somebody, your literature is great because you know how to talk to them. Any question they have, you own it. That's what you just did in this interview. Any question I had, you was on it.
Yeah. And it's the same thing for first-time home buyers, because that's the biggest thing, is that's a huge investment. It's a big scare. There's a lot of people who rent just because they don't really realize how easy it is to become a homeowner. So a lot of people think, I've got to have this amazing credit. I've got to have, make all this money in the bank. To be honest with you, I get people that don't even make $30,000 a year and have a credit score of 580, and I can still get them to become a homeowner.
Really?
It's because I know the right people. I have a right team of lenders. There's a couple lenders that I refer buyers to. One that I know that he works with people with less than perfect credit. And for an FHA loan, which is a government-insured loan through the Department of HUD, and through the FHA loan, all they're going to require is a 580 score. You don't have to have this 650, 700, 800 score to become a homeowner.
Wow.
It's 580 is the least amount required. Now there is another one, a loan that's called the USDA RD loan, and it's also through the Department of HUD, government insured loan, and you do have to have a credit score of 640 on that one, but that one is a zero down loan.
Really?
So buyers don't even have to have money in the bank. Just call me if all the things on your credit are good and you have at least a 640 score. You could literally buy a home with zero money down except for the cost of your home inspection and earnest money.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is awesome. A lot of people are scared.
That's it.
They don't know who to get in contact with. They don't know what to do because they always say, I don't think I can get a home. And you're right. Everybody.
And so what they're doing is
Yes,
they'll rent
yes,
and they'll
yes.
pay somebody else's mortgage.
That's right.
And I tell renters all the time, I'm like, why are you doing that? You're so scared of committing yourself to purchasing a home but you weren't scared to sign a lease to pay somebody else's mortgage for a year. Does that make sense?
Make no sense.
And all of a sudden, a light bulb goes ding, ding, ding. Okay, Jonathan, what do I need to do? And then that's when we talk about, let's get you to the right lender. So, do you have an idea of what your credit score is? Have you been at your job for at least 12 months? And so I have a couple what I call pre-qualifying questions I'll ask them, and then based off of what they tell me, I'll kind of decide which lender would be best for them.
That is great. So, ladies and gentlemen that's out there looking for a home, you better get in contact with this guy. And I'm going to let him introduce himself one more time because he is fascinating with real estate knowledge. Tell him who he is one more time.
Jonathon Griffin with Keller Williams Realty. Yeah. Based in, my office is in Gulfport, and I also have a satellite office in Ocean Springs. But you don't have to come to me. I can come to you. So you just reach out to me, 228-326-6680, and we can make it happen. If that is your goal for 2020, which is a great goal, and I would do it now because interest rates are low.
Really?
You can get as low as, on an FHA loan, as low as 3.4%.
What?
Which is crazy. You can get as low as 3.2% on a VA loan.
Wow.
And with the USDA loan, it's the same thing. It's running anywhere about 4% or lower. Those are the lowest rates we've seen in a very, very, very long time, which means a lot of people don't, well, what's that have to do with home buying? Well, whatever your interest rate is really makes a difference on what you're going to be paying for that home over a 30-year mortgage. So the lower the interest rate, the less money you're going to be paying.
Absolutely.
So now's the time to buy.
Definitely it is time to buy. What about the developers that's coming from another market?
Yeah.
And they coming down and they want to shop around. Do you have properties listed?
Yep. Not a lot of commercial properties listed, just because you do have those people that have been in the commercial business for years here. And I'm trying to break that ground, and I've been doing it. So I did just list a huge warehouse in D'Iberville, right where the new mall is supposed to be built.
Right.
And it was a antique, 15,000 square foot antique shop prior. Was a generator. I mean, it generated money for her. I mean, she made at one point about $20,000 a month.
Whoa.
With the antique sales. But and that was profit. And then I've got a lot that I've got listed on Pass Road, which would be a great. It's right now we're getting it rezoned from limited business to residential business, so it can open it up for more things. But I've got that listed, and of course I've got access to the MLS for anything that any commercial developers are looking for. If they're looking for multifamily, if they're looking for commercial buildings that are already built and they want to come down here and invest and open up a business, I could definitely help them with all of that.
Wow, you must have a great relationship with the zoning commission.
I just send them there. They really probably don't even know who I am, to be honest with you, because they do the work. I can't do the rezoning for them, but I tell them where they need to go.
Where they need to go. Yes, indeed. That's like the gaming commission here.
That's it.
Yes, yes. And that's good, though, that you definitely have that information. So Keller Williams was the right choice for you. Definitely the right choice.
Yeah. And the good thing about Keller Williams, it's all about our client. And one of the number reasons why I joined them is, number one, I was going to get trained. And as you can tell, they did give me a lot of knowledge. So people that are looking to get in real estate, if you have questions about Keller Williams, you can definitely give me a call, and I'll share information with how to join us. We've got an onboarding team that sits down and asks questions. I'm actually part of the growth committee for our office. I'm also a mentor. So for first-year agents at Keller Williams, I've committed my time to, so whenever new agents come on, there's like 8 of us, I think, that are top producers that have sold over $5 million a year consistently. We are allowed to mentor brand new agents. So I'm part of that mentorship program.
That's great.
And we've got a lot of things. So, being successful is great, but being successful and not sharing with others on how to be successful isn't great.
Absolutely.
And so that's I'm single. I have no kids, no spouse. So my deal is,
you're not from Mississippi.
I'm not. I'm actually. Hey, I'm a Chiefs fan.
Okay.
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri
Kansas
area.
City.
Yeah, not too far from Kansas City. So
the other night,
yeah, we're excited. We're pumped about that. Just
right.
my father and grandfather had passed, so I know they're shouting in heaven right now.
Yes, they are. Yes.
So,
yes.
But yeah, I'm from Missouri, but I've been here just this equal amount of time as I've been from Missouri, so I do consider myself this is home.
This is home now.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this, from what you just enlightened us with today. You from Missouri, and you showed this state. You from the Show Me State. And you have showed them. And I want to thank you for coming to our show today, Coastal Spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, you had it. You heard it, and you seen it. You wanted real estate. We gave it to you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. Yeah, make sure you go find my business page on Facebook, Jonathan Griffin Realtor at Keller Williams. If you just type that in your search bar, I'll come up. And like my page, shoot me a message if you have a question. If they have a desire to become a homeowner, I'd love to help you guys get started.
Well, there it is. Thank y'all for tuning in to Coastal Spotlight here from the Sugar Factory inside Hard Rock, Biloxi. This is MD Redmon, and this is
Jonathan Griffin with Keller Williams Realty.
Good night. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to Coastal Spotlight. You made it to the end of another episode. I appreciate that. And we appreciate that here at Coastal Spotlight. And we also want to thank the Sugar Factory inside Hard Rock, Biloxi. That's right, Sugar Factory have great food and fantastic drinks. In front of me, I have two of my favorite drinks, Sour Apple Lolly, Caramel Macchiato Martini. You can only find these drinks at Sugar Factory. Thank you, and good night.